You're watching Duct Tape and Popsicle Sticks with Mike and Maria Keiser. Because sometimes you feel like your business is being held together by duct tape and popsicle sticks. On this show, you're not going to hear the latest business fad. You're going to get useful information that you can apply to your own business right now.
Hello and thanks for watching another indescribable episode of Duct Tape and Popsicle Sticks. I'm Mike Keiser, along with a woman who loves to secretly replace people's Oreo stuffing with toothpaste. Maria Keiser.
That's a funny one.
I'm glad I finally got one right. So,
imagine the look on their face.
I know. So,
double stuff.
Oh God. So there you go.
Yeah.
Way to this is a good start to the show. Hey everybody, thanks a million for joining us, and as usual, everything you need to know is in the show notes below. How to get to our website, how to interact with us, how to get to the rest of the videos, all that stuff. But today's show actually has Maria kind of fired up because you've had we're marketing consultants. We run a full service agency, but sometimes we bring in outside contractors for things. So for example, we're not web designers. So we have a couple of trusted web designers we work with. But that's not what's frustrating, Maria. It is getting people untangled from their current web designer,
right.
People's lack of willingness to give you login credentials. When it's time, I got to relay a very funny conversation that I heard you have on the phone. But it had you so fired up that you really wanted to just do a show today about if you are choosing a web designer, here's some things you need to know. Here's some questions you need to ask, and you can know it's unbiased because we're not web designers.
Right, and I'll start out by saying if your current provider is serving you well, there's no reason to change. We were changing because the current provider was not serving our client well.
Right, so we were going to bring in our folks.
Right, and recently we've had two instances where the designer was just really very poor about releasing the content, even though the client owned it. So I wanted to talk a little bit about how to go about choosing a designer and and questions to ask and things to take into account when you're choosing that individual. So one thing that is so important is make sure the designer gives you the login credentials. Make sure you know how to log into your site. Whether you're ever going to go back there to change anything or not does not matter. You need to have control of this thing.
Well, that's where the funny pardon the interruption.
Go ahead.
So I heard her on the phone the other day with this web design company, and they were telling her why they couldn't give particular login credentials.
Because only one person had this.
Because only one person had them, and he's on vacation for 3 weeks. So I heard Maria ask, so what if he dies on vacation? Does that mean everybody's website is held hostage because nobody else in the company has any idea how to get login credentials? But it's a fair point.
Right.
And then you even heard from the dude, and he told you it was going to take 3 more weeks.
Right.
So that's why she's...
So you get now that we're leaving, we're getting the runaround. So I want also to make sure you get in writing. So ask the designer, whoever you choose, how do I leave you if I ever need to? They should always be able to answer that question and get that in writing. Make sure you have that information in writing.
Yep.
Make sure you own your own website address, your own URL. Make sure it's in your name, not in the designer's name, because at the end they might say, well, we bought it, so you can buy it from us for X amount of dollars. Another thing is look at the work on their previous websites. Do they do good work? Does every single one of their websites look exactly the same? You wanna make sure they're gonna create something for you. Now, there's no such thing as a custom website because there's so many templates out there, but they can be customized to suit you and what you need. Make sure your website looks good on a mobile device, because most people are going to look at your website on a mobile device. So make sure it's mobile ready.
One of the things that one of our trusted web designers had said to us is, he said that most people are invisible on the internet.
Yeah.
So you'll get this website done, you'll have your social going, but you're still invisible. So it's also important to talk, even though you're not going to be an SEO, a search engine optimization expert, you have to work with a designer that hopefully is.
Right.
And is going to do the things that are going to bring your website up in the searches.
Google will change their rules every once in a while. And it's
Right.
not your responsibility to know that, it's the web designer's responsibility to know that. And make sure that whoever you choose is up to date on what Google is saying now. So the site that one of the companies that we were leaving, they were putting their client in peril because they had them have 3 websites with all the same content, and that was actually hurting them, and they were becoming invisible, and Google was penalizing them.
Right.
So we weren't just like stealing people's customers away. And you know, the final 2 things is make sure your designer understands who your audience is, and this is where your job is to come in and help. I know a lot of times people say, "Ugh, I don't want anything to do with this," but you have to have something to do with it, because your designer can't possibly know all the ins and outs about what your audience is looking for, but make sure you have some idea. And with our clients, we help them come up with, you know, what is your audience asking of you, and let's make sure that's the information that's on the website. And finally, make sure there's back and forth communication with the designer. Make sure they're talking to you, they're asking you questions. One of the other designers that we left, our client hired him to create a website, and in 2 weeks a website was created, and he never told him anything about his company or anything. He just made up all the content, and here.
Right. Well, right. That you were furious with that.
Yes.
So, wow, you were on fire today.
But
you
know,
were great.
I feel strongly about this because a lot of times we go into it and we're trusting someone, and then they're just taking our money, and then at the end of it, they're wondering why we're unhappy. Well, I mean, we have a website for a reason. We want to be seen on the internet. We don't want Google to hide our stuff. We want to have a good, strong, professional presence.
And you want to be able to leave if you ever need to leave.
And you want to be able to leave. You know,
Right.
Any good company, I don't care who it is, should allow you to leave if you're not happy with the services.
There you go. Fantastic job today. You were great. I know we probably went a tiny bit long, but I hope nobody cares, because that was great stuff. So
Thank you.
Wow. I usually ask, do you have anything more to say, but I think you said it all.
Yeah.
So we will just wrap up. As usual, please check out our other videos. Please interact with us. We love it. Even if you didn't like something about the videos, tell us about that.
Even if you think I'm wrong here, let me know.
There you have it. So, but in the meantime, thank you so much once again for watching. You've been watching Duct Tape and Popsicle Sticks, where we make your business better 3 minutes at a time.
Ciao for now.
Imagine the look on their faces and how it'll taste when they bite into those toothpaste Oreos.
You're watching Duct Tape and Popsicle Sticks with Mike and Maria Keiser.